A few moments later.
Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, tankers of Blitz to the channel. We're gonna have a talk about this little Chinese tier 6 tank destroyer, the WZ-131G FT. And to be honest, it's not much. I mean, it's a tiny tank, as you can see. It's really small. It has a good gun. It has got some speed and mobility. But in terms of armor, it's just not there. It is, I don't know, it's team dependent, and it's a team support. If the team is completely trash, then you can't really do a lot in this tank, just because it is, well, it's bad. But if your team is too good, then you will struggle to do a lot of damage. It has mobility, it has a gun. Got 3 games to show you. Gonna talk you through the tank, what to do with it, what not to do with it, and then have a little discussion about this one in general terms as well, in terms of the meta. Because it is a tier 6 tank to try, and that means that you will see tier 5, 6 and 7. And of course we all know that the reward tanks that we have been given for the Battle Pass and for the Blitz 6 years birthday, that's the P43, the Annie, we had the Thunder obviously for the Battle Pass. There's a lot of SU-100Ys knocking about in this tier, Smashers, KV2s, and that means that you have to be map aware in this tank. And you have to be a bit lucky. You have to stay, hold on to your hit points as long as possible, because 900 hit points on you with your tank, that's just not a lot. Especially if you look at a Thunder, for example, 400 average per shot. And that means that he can delete you in practically 2 shots. Because your armor, hold on to your horses, is 35 mils on the front, 20-20 on the sides and the rear. And what I'm doing here, you can see I'm moving fairly aggressively towards the flank, because I wanted to see if there were people in that bush, and apparently there was an ARL. I'm going to try to put a shot in on him. Here we go. I'll catch it on sight. It's a bit annoying. I was thinking he would turn towards me, but he didn't. But you have a good gun. You have a good gun. I'm going to show you a little trick what you can do if you're playing on mobile. You can see that I managed to track this guy. And I'm now just reversing backwards without moving my cursor. And if you take a look at that little black triangle in the middle that's set on his tracks, which means that I shoot him and then I have to be a bit lucky he doesn't get tracked and then stops and blows right up in front of me and has his gun pointing towards me straight away. This is what you have to have with this tank. You have to have teammates that are somewhat supportive. And you have to have a red team that doesn't really know what to do against you. Your gun is a good one. 181 in terms of penetration on AP, 241 on AP sharp, 280 damage, which is quite a nice bite at this tier. But the gun depression, well, it's 5 degrees. I would have wanted to have a bit more. It's 15 degrees up, and gun traverse arc left and right is 12 degrees. And because you have a good gun, the tier 7 one that is, that's a 100mm gun, practically the same type of gun which you get on a T44, for example, or T43. And that means that your HE shell is, well, not bad at all, 50 in terms of penetration, and you do 350 damage with your HE shells, and that is quite funky against the STRVs of this world, the tier 5 tanks or tier 6 light tanks and tier 7 light tanks. Then you can do wonders. But what also has changed now is, of course, the meta. We're going to shoot this Jeffrey. There we go. That's what I meant about the roll. That's actually a low roll, 310. But you can punch through the side and through the front of VKs, no problem whatsoever. We're going to clear that tank. And then we're just gonna run away from this STR3. And I'm looking at the hit points of that guy, 275. I should be able to finish him off. Turn around. Yes, miss, roll back. He shoots into the building. Thank you. And I'm just gonna roll back now because I've realized that our Panzer 5-4, the fake Panther with the Panther with the turret on top, the Panzer 4 turret on top. He was already coming this way. I had to go there. I do manage to get a first class, high caliber as well, 311 damage dealt by the Ram Panzer. I gave him a thumbs up. He was effective. I mean, he cleared one tank, and that's all he needed to do in order for me to win that game. This one, however, this is a lot more thinking needed. It is supremacy, which means that sometimes teams spread out. On Rockfield, they have a tendency to rush C. And I don't want to get spotted early on. I've taken a look at the lineup already. They have a Cheery, which is of course a soft target, but that has a good autoloader with 160 per shot, 480 in a magazine. And he can dump that magazine into me in, I think it's in like 4 seconds or so. I think it's 2.5 seconds into clip reload, into shell reload for the Cheery. And then he can just roll back, reload, and then I would be gone. And they also have a WZ Blaze, and they have the tier 7 Chinese tank destroyer, the T-34-2G FG, which has a 400 alpha gun and has no problems penetrating me through the front, sides or back. So I want to go into this spot, and I'm hoping to spot tanks crossing towards C, but apparently nothing's happening. We have a lemming train towards A, there's 2 red tanks spotted. And as I sit here, there's more and more tanks spotted. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tanks over there. Yes, 7 tanks over there. The entire red team is on that flank. I've counted the dots. I have to cross, maybe go towards C-cap, or otherwise just set up below C-cap so I can have some cover behind the rocks. Put some shots across if enemies are stupid enough to roll across the A-cap. We've lost the IS already. That is unfortunate, of course. But our VK is going towards C. Lovely stuff. That means I'm going to set up right over here. I will have a shot onto that, what is it, the Cromwell or the Churchill? Here you go, that's the gun depression, doesn't really work. Can we shoot him? No, we can't, and we can now shoot this Churchill. And I rush this shot and I track him, that is really annoying. Gonna try to put another one in and take a look at that. That's frontally through the lower plate, no problem whatsoever. He is trying to blind fire and he misses, and then we will shoot this. Oh, that one hit, that one hit. That was a direct hit on the Cromwell. And you can see that from the damage ribbon already, 521 damage dealt. This is the gameplay of the WZ-131G FT. And I know there's earlier reviews of this tank available. I mean, Littlefinger did one, and there's one from Skate, obviously. And Littlefinger noted this one as being his favorite tier 6 tank destroyer. But that was in the old meta. The KV-3s of this world, the ISs, the T-29s, they didn't have that monster armor. If you're up against a VK-3601H, then you might have a bit of a problem. And I'm doing all the things properly here. I'm going to shoot this Type 64 again, and I shoot him now. And just as I fire, you can see what happened there. The Cheery moved around. HE, he should still be there. Fire anyway. Yes, blind kill. Thank you very much. But the Cheery moved in front of me as I fired. And then this VK, AMX 3075 runs around. VK is going in all guns blazing YOLO Ramblewood style because he's thinking he can kill that tank. But I was screaming at him while I was playing this one and thinking, dude, what are you doing? I'm shooting this blaze there. We go, good shot in on him. Adrenaline pop in, can't shoot him again. We can hopefully shoot the Churchill, and I want to report to GoShell Wargaming. Thank you very much. We're going to try and shoot him again. Yes, we hit him because we've reset the cap, but apparently no damage dealt. At least I'm not sure. I'm going to try another blind shot. Here we go. That one hit as well, I think. And there's the Cheery moving in. I can't shoot him. I'm not reloaded. Popping back because I had some cover from the bushes, and all I can do now here is, well, try to reset A cap. Oh, there is a low shot target. Hello VK, APCR, thank you. There we go, we've cleared him. But I'm spotted now. Can we shoot this church? I'm gonna get shot anyway. Oh, he missed. Yes, thank you. There we go. And now I'm going to run away. you can say whatever you want. I'm being sneaky. I'm trying to do as much as possible, but this is the life of the WZ-131G FT, as I stated before. It is a support tank, but you need a team. You need to have the red team to make some form of mistakes, and if they make mistakes, you can then punish them. Then you can shoot them. But if you get outplayed and outflanked, and maybe I should use a camouflage net on this tank. Maybe I should. I'm actually running it with just the top row of equipment, so I'm having a rammer, and I do have improved modules, and I do have improved optics. I might use a camouflage net then, make it a bit of into a tier 6 E25, much like the Panzer IV is with the gun and the DPM and the low profile. And I have APCR loaded because I want to finish off that church on it, but I screw up over here. I wanted to shoot him and then I missed, and then I decided to go in over here because I wanted to clear him, and he is angling just as I fire, and I don't have the gun depression, shoot that one into his tracks. And I should have just stayed behind the building or behind the bunker, kill him, and then I would have been able to farm just a little bit more in terms of damage. But yeah, this is what happens when the team is not what you want from it. 2,155 damage dealt, top of the team in terms of damage, as you can see, and second in terms of XP overall from both of the teams. Yeah, still haven't got the ace. I am, however, racking up at the moment towards nearly 100 battles. At 61% win rate, 1300 average damage, which is respectable, I think, for tier 6 tank destroyers, which have no armor. But I still want that ace. And as I kept playing it, I started somewhat liking the tank, and that's also interesting to see, because when I first played it, I was just like, oh, this is a really bad tank. I just really don't like it. But this game that was sent in by Help Immerberg, he sent me this game in. And this one kind of sparked me into reviving the grind on the Chinese tank destroyers. He actually told me about the T-34-2 GFT, the T-7 one. He said, this one's really good. How come I've never ground this one before? Why didn't I play this one before? It's a big damage dealer. And I said, I have no idea. I mean, these tanks, they are good. They are apparently somewhat balanced, but they're not brilliant. I mean, maybe everybody expects a WZ-121G FT type of gameplay where you have a lot of armor. But look at this. If you've been able to fire all your shots into the enemy, and you are catching enemies by surprise like he's doing to this poor M4 Sherman, then this gun is pretty stingy. It has a good bite. And with HE, look at this. Boom! Into the side of the Crusader. 4 kills. Team is having one tank less, as you can see. There's still a heavy on spawn 1, and he's just poking the ridgeline here to find out what is happening. What's happening over there? Oh, that's a KV2. That's a KV2. You do not want to get hit by a KV2, and basically any type of tank in these tiers, but especially in a very weakly armored tank like this one. The ARL is then just going in and just completely ignoring what is happening, because he wants to kill the green KV2, and he manages to... And yes, mate, you just drove in front of me. Thank you. I'm going to shoot the ARL now. Are you going to move in front of me? Are you going to move, AMX? No, right, then we might as well shoot the top of the turret of the ARL. Come on, AMX, start moving. Start moving, not going to happen, right? Well, then we'll finish off the ARL. Thank you, thank you. And suddenly he's on 5 kills. He is on 5 kills, as you can see. That means that's a Resenia up for grabs, but it's basically him plus a AMX 12T that is, well, doesn't see. Ooh, no, move back. That doesn't seem to be much of help, because he's now shooting a KV2, which is good, but then he lurches himself off the cliff nearly. Yes, is he? No, he's not. Yes, he is. Of course, let's just drive down into the water in front of the KV2. He's providing some suitable distraction, but the KV2 decides to shoot buggy anyway, and he's on APCR. There we go, through the front of the KV2. And here comes the VK3601H, who is suffering from just blind maneuvering as well, into the water. And this is what you want to see, just the back of a tier 6 heavy, where you can keep shooting. And as I said, this tank is not much. I would not recommend going up towards this tech tree if you want to play a bit and have a forgiving tank. That said, it hasn't got much to offer. It is a chassis, it's mobile, it has a gun. It needs a team, but it also needs a bit of a Muppet team on the Reds. But I still somewhat like it. So I'm kind of contradicting myself, am I not? I think I really am. But I'll keep doing the grind. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video. Cheers, happy tanking.